Imagine yourself pinned down by enemy fire in the mountains of Afghanistan. The call for close air support could not come in soon enough. Then you hear the distinctive hum of the A-10 Warhog's engines overhead, and you know instantly that everything's going to be okay. For many years now, and in several different conflicts, the A-10 has proven itself to be an effective air-to-ground attack aircraft. Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Torrio, and today I will show you that the A-10 is truly among the best at its job of close air support. In addition to this, I will show you that the low cost per flying hour in comparison to the other airframes that can provide close air support make it not only the best option for our troops downrange, but for our taxpayers here at home. All this is with hopes of convincing you that the A-10 is an aircraft that should not be removed from service anytime in the near future, but in fact extended. Let us begin with the background of the A-10 and how it came into service for the United States Air Force. During the Vietnam era, the ground-to-air missiles became more sophisticated and became more deadly to aircraft flying close air support missions. The Air Force needed to have a low cost of maintenance aircraft that had a minimum turnaround time and had a high rate of survivability. It needed to be able to attack tanks, artillery batteries, and other strongholds. In 1967, the request was made for an aircraft that would be able to fill these roles, and by 1972, Fairchild Hiller put out the A-10, and it took its first flight. By 1977, the first active squadron of A-10s was in Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, and has been flying ever since. The A-10 is an aircraft that was developed around its cannon. The cannon was developed by General Electric. It's a GAU 8 Avenger 30mm cannon. It has a fire rate of 2100 to 4200 rounds per minute. The 30mm round is a devastating round that can penetrate tank armor or tear apart a building or eliminate any sort of enemy vehicle. In addition to this, from 4,000 feet away, it can put 80% of its rounds within a 40-foot circle, making it extremely accurate and providing it the ability to provide that extremely close air support that was needed for all of our troops around the world. This also minimized the risk of casualties to friendly fire due to the fact that with such a close tolerance of fire being concentrated in a small area, they could avoid any sort of friendly fire. Now that you know what the Fairchild Hiller A-10 Warhog is, and you know a little about its capabilities, let me explain to you why it is the best option for the close air support role. Let us discuss the other aircraft that can do this, that can provide this service. The B-1 Lancer, it's a bomber, and it's unable to hold close patterns above enemies. It has to fly over, and it would make a big sweep to come back around. In addition to this, its bombs are very deadly for extremely close air support due to the fact that, well, obviously they're bombs and they're going to have a large explosion radius. One of the biggest negatives about the B-1 is the fact that it costs $58,000 an hour to fly. Another aircraft that can perform this similar mission is the F-16 fighter jet. It's very similar to the B-1 in the fact that it has to fly by. It cannot hold a close pattern over enemy. However, it is significantly cheaper at $23,000 per hour to fly. The other most effective close air support aircraft the Air Force has is the AC-130U gunship. This AC-130 is an attack variant of the cargo plane, and it costs $46,000 an hour to fly. Unlike the B-1 and the F-16, it can hold a close pattern over enemies and provide continuous air support. However, the A-10 is an aircraft that only costs $18,000 per hour to fly. And as we discussed earlier, due to its GAU 8 Avenger 30mm cannon, it can provide extremely close air support without risking any friendly fire. And just like the AC-130, it can maintain a close pattern near enemies in order to provide a continuous support for an extended period of time. Seeing that not only the A-10 is the cheapest option to provide close air support, but the safest for our troops, it becomes harder to argue the fact that the A-10 should be decommissioned and removed from service. The Fairchild Hiller A-10 Warthog attack aircraft has proven itself time and time again as a critical aircraft in theater. Not only is it a great deterrent for enemies when it is overhead, but it provides superior close air support for our troops on the ground. Able to place accurate shots on target with its Avenger 30mm cannon, the A-10 is the safest option for our troops. To top it off, the A-10 just so happens to be the most inexpensive option for the job as well. Knowing what you know about the A-10, I would hope that you would agree with me that relieving the A-10 Warthog from duty is not a smart choice for the United States Air Force or the Department of Defense. Thank you.